good afternoon to everyone, and thank you so much for coming out. We are in a time in our country, and I've said this repeatedly, that our generation has been chosen to stand up against injustice. When we look at history, at a time when people in this country were being discriminated against, we celebrate those who stood up and said no. Injustice to one is injustice to all. We talk about how great Gandhi and Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and these amazing, the suffrage movement women, we talk about how great they were and how much courage they had. It's now our turn. In this country, we're seeing things that are unjust. And are we going to stand up? Is history going to write about us? That when we saw injustice to one, that we all stood up. And we used our voice and we used our democracy to say in our country, with the amazing rights and freedoms in our Constitution, that we will fight for justice in our country. I want to thank everyone who came out today. This is about the Trump administration's despicable decision to begin deporting dreamers in 6 months. And we are demanding an immediate response from Congress. The Democrats, I can tell you, are on board, and we want every Republican to stand up and have the political courage to say we need to enact legislation to embrace, protect, and develop a process for citizenship for our dreamers. Do you realize 800,000 patriotic young dreamers are in countries across the country in America? And they're Americans except for one thing. They have not been given the opportunity to sign and be in the process to become citizens. Ending DACA will create a $460 billion hit to our U.S. economy over the next decade. 76% of Americans, they asked the question, 76% of Americans support citizenship or permanent status for dreamers, while only 15% of this great country said deport them. It's more of us than they are of them. 69% of our Republican colleagues back either citizenship or permanent status. In Michigan, in our great state of Michigan, 6,400 young people have been able to thrive successfully in America thanks to DACA. So this is why we're having this press conference. It is a call to action and an announcement that Democrats, we are pushing for a clean, fair vote to support the DREAM Act. That's legislation that will be a process legally for dreamers to become citizens in this country. One of my committees is the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. Congressman Conyers will be joining us later, who sits on the Judiciary. We are calling for a hearing because we are going to have to stop this inhumane bullying and decisions that are being made by this administration that is hateful and one that is not conducive to building a great country and bringing people together. We also are going to do a discharge on the floor, so watch us in Congress. Congressman Hoyer is putting a discharge petition on the floor. I wrote a letter to the President of the United States asking him, why? What was your objective? And to stop using your office as a way to bully and discriminate and harass the great people of this country. Stop it, Mr. President. It's the mayor of Hamtramck, Karen Maliski. our County Commissioner Tim Killeen, our Senator, I still call him new, Ivan Conyers, our Councilwoman Mary Sheffield from Detroit, Sylvia Santana, is she here? Our State Rep, Jane Garcia, a warrior and fighter for our Latino community, Isaac Robinson, Dr. Kumar, United Lawyers Guild, One Michigan, Freedom House, Ruby Robinson of the Michigan Immigrants' Rights Center. Let's give them all a round of applause.
Top of the morning, everyone. Great to see you all here. This is a pretty easy one that we're here for today, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's give the Deferred Action Childhood Arrivals, DACA, a little bit of room. I'm so proud that that was one of the last things that President Obama did on the way out, wasn't it? Obama, we miss you. Wish you could come back. But and then it was awfully mean-spirited and unnecessary for the president, the new president, to end DACA and not let anybody else do anything in it. And of course, after March 6th, these DACA workers lose their work permits even. And so this is more of the activities of a extremely conservative administration that is, in addition to being conservative, is mean-spirited as well. I mean, this is totally unnecessary because they've been doing a great job in terms of keeping their work up, their school up. They love the country.
Serving in the military.
Serving in the military, and they don't know anything about the countries they're about to be sent back to.
Yes.
So we're so glad that all of you are here to remind a few of our colleagues in and around Michigan that they ought to do their job. The consequences of ending DACA is terrible. And when we're trying to create jobs and employ more people, this is the wrong time to be snatching these fine young people out. Congress can permanently pass legislation, which we're working on and have introduced, that will take care of the problem. And so I thank you very much for getting me out in the sunlight and getting a little bit more tan. Thank you all. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for DACA. And thanks for our great Congresswoman, Brenda Lawrence.
I just want to say just a quick update on DACA. The deadline to apply, if your DACA does not, is still valid until March 5th is October 5th. So you need to make sure that if you are one of those people that can reapply, to do that. Also, One Michigan will be hosting a number of clinics where you can get your DACA renewed, and we will also be sponsoring any kind of person that cannot afford it, because $500 is a lot of money. So if you're out there, please reach out to One Michigan. We're here to help, and thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
I came here to this country when I was 1 year old. Been here ever since. I didn't realize the impact of my situation until I got my first job. I worked my first day as a dishwasher thinking everything was fine, and they asked for my social security number. I didn't have one. I let them know up front. I've always been honest, just like my parents taught me to be. and they told me I had to go home. I drove home in tears. I didn't know what that meant. Why couldn't I work? This is the only country I've ever known, and they didn't allow me to work. But my parents always taught me to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, figure it out. I thought maybe if I showed my worth, maybe if I served this country in the military, and I talked to a recruiter and he told me, you can't serve. I was willing to put my life on the line for this country. I was willing to die for this country, and I wasn't allowed the right to do so. It broke my heart, but I mean, I always picked myself up, kept moving forward. DACA came along. It allowed me to get a job, to go to school, buy a house, buy a car, help my family. I now work full-time at Quicken Loans. I go full-time to Wayne State University. My dream is to become an immigration lawyer and help people who are in my situation as well, because I know what they go through. I have my brother, my mother in the crowd here, and my brother is 10. He was born here. He's a U.S. citizen. He's going to be separated from his older brother. That's heartbreaking to anybody. So I leave DACA in place. It's working. Until there's to pass the DREAM Act. There's 8 who want to contribute. We love this country. We pledge allegiance. The representatives here for done together. Thank you.
The American dream is our common bond. And here we go again with the Trump administration threaten us, threaten our sisters and brothers, threatens our young and youth of being stripped from this dream, the precious American dream, that we are all ought to fight for it and not allow anyone to take it away from us. President Trump said it loud and clear that these kids are incredible. And if these kids are incredible, they deserve the better treatment, and they deserve to be Americans like me and you. We are all in together for this fight, and we hope that the Congress will act swiftly, promptly, not to allow these children face any further ramifications.
So I beg all of you to write all the Congress people, not just our representative, everybody, bombard them, hit them with notes, call their offices, scare the little daylights out of them to move forward. Muchísimas gracias a todos ustedes.
The only thing that's alien is an administration that would have the audacity to pardon a known racist and send 800,000 students worrying to countries they've never been. President Trump, immediately take action of your Congress and call on Republicans to do the right thing and stand with the Democrats in getting rid of this ridiculous and outrageous and really hideous, mean-spirited approach to deportation. Just last week, we stood and saw in front of the Theodore Levin courtroom that they had attacked the Chaldean community, a community that has been the fiber of the west side and the east side of Detroit for generations. These are your neighbors. These are folks that you have known throughout your entire life who are here. Particularly sending folks to a country they have never been to is outrageous. In the Senate, Democrats, we came together and we called for the Governor Snyder to speak out about this in particular, and you saw that they stepped up in a continuously tepid manner, not talking about it, not calling it what it is. If you want us to call things what they are, radical, you need to take radical action. So we're going to continue to fight in our state legislature to make sure that we have appropriate action. The Dreamers are as American as any of our forefathers that came here, and they deserve an immediate, clear bill. So thank you so much, Congresswoman, for giving us the opportunity today.
Well, here I am, an immigrant, and I can tell you, confirm it, what we all know. This is a country built on the brains and brawn of immigrants. Okay? And so without immigrants, we would be nowhere. And it is our children who have come here, the dreamers, that will make the difference. Tomorrow's America depends upon the brains of this today. And these are our brains and brawn. And let me tell you, no American dream can happen without the dreamers. Okay? So we have to do everything in our power. And I'm sure Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence and John Conyers will do everything. But it is incumbent upon us to write to all our congressmen and congresswomen. Unless we, the people, take this in our own hands, it will not happen.
And as somebody said, I think one of the dreamers said, in a way it is a silver lining, because let this issue come forefront, because let it be decided once and for all. So let us be in solidarity. And as an Indian person, we have also a lot of Indian children that are dreamers. Okay, we are the highest per capita income, the highest taxpayers as minorities. We have excelled in every place. And I'm a urologist. Robotic surgery that you see today was popularized by an Indian surgeon, Dr. Mani Menon. So we have brought to America everything that we have. Let America not take away our dreamers. Thank you.
The Jewish Community Relations Council, AJC, and what more could be said? I mean, you see a diverse group, a beautiful mosaic of this is America standing behind me, right? Yes. And to stand together on this beautiful day in this beautiful setting in this vibrant neighborhood, to stand together and say this is not our country, this is not what we do. We are standing together in unison, in solidarity with the dreamers, because this is an American issue. And I can tell you that the Jewish community is so emotionally attached to this issue, and we are disturbed by this, and we have to speak out. That's why I'm here. That's why it's such an honor to join with our leaders. And Congressman, Congresswoman, thank you for your leadership. Folks, what more could be said but other than let them stay, let them stay, let them stay.
Indian community today, we're speaking out about legislation that would impact dreamers in America. Those are our undocumented children who we know who have come to this country as a child by their parents and are now productive, educated members of our country. We just need to do our job in Congress and make them a legal citizen of this great country. They're already contributing, educated, and doing so many amazing things. We are pledging to work together. Today we're standing in Southwest Detroit because the Indian community knows injustice to one is injustice to all, and we're all standing together on this issue because we believe in America, and we know to make America the country that we love means that our children must be protected and our children must be allowed to be given the dignity and respect that they deserve.
అంటే 18 సంవత్సరాలు అయితే కానీ గ్రీన్ కార్డు వచ్చే పరిస్థితి లేదు ఈ రోజు ఉన్న సిచ్యుయేషన్లో. ఎవరైనా కానీ పిల్లలు ఇటు వచ్చి స్కూల్లో చదివిన తర్వాత 10-15 సంవత్సరాలు ఇక్కడ చదివిన తర్వాత మీరు ఇక్కడ ఉండేదానికి వీలు లేదు, మీరు ఇండియా వెళ్ళిపోవాలంటే వాళ్ళకి చాలా ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చే పరిస్థితి ఉంది. వాళ్ళ డ్రీమ్స్ కానీ వాళ్ళు ఏ తప్పు చేయకుండా చిన్నపిల్లలు బాధపడే పరిస్థితి ఎక్కువ ఉంది. చదువుకున్న పిల్లలు కావచ్చు, చదువుకుంటూ ఉండేవాళ్ళు కావచ్చు, ఒక ఇన్సెక్యూరిటీ, ఒక భయాందోళన పరిస్థితి ఏర్పడుతూ ఉంది ఈ పాలసీల వల్ల. ఇక్కడ కొత్తగా వచ్చేవాళ్ళు పోయినా కానీ ఇక్కడ ఉన్న వాళ్ళని ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేయడం కానీ ఇది చాలా ఇబ్బంది ఉంది. ఇదే కాకుండా ఈరోజు ఈ ఇమిగ్రేషన్స్ చాలా ఎక్కువ చేస్తున్నారు. ఈ ఉన్న పిల్లలు కూడా ఇక్కడ తెలివిగా చదువుకొని ఇక్కడ కాలేజీల్లో, యూనివర్సిటీస్లో టాప్ స్టూడెంట్స్లో ఈరోజు ఇండియన్స్ చాలామంది ఉన్నారు. వీళ్ళందరూ ఉన్నా కానీ వీళ్ళందరినీ కూడా వెనక్కి పంపించేస్తే ఇక్కడ ఈ దేశానికి కూడా ఒక పెద్ద రిసోర్సెస్ కోల్పోయే పరిస్థితి ఉంది. దీని గురించి ఈరోజు మేము కాంగ్రెస్ మెన్ వీళ్ళందరితో మాట్లాడటం జరిగింది. ఇక్కడ మిషిగన్ గవర్నమెంట్లో కూడా వీళ్ళు బాగా సపోర్ట్ ఇస్తున్నారు. ఒక ఇండియన్సే కాదు చాలా దేశాలకు వాళ్ళకు కూడా ఈ పరిస్థితి ఉంది. కాబట్టి అందరం కలిసి ఈరోజు ఒక యునానిమస్గా మేము గవర్నమెంట్కి ప్రజెంటేషన్ ఇస్తూ ఉన్నామండి.
ఈ డ్రీమర్స్ వల్ల ఒక ఫ్యామిలీలు విడిపోయే ప్రమాదం ఉంది. రాబోతున్న రోజుల్లో ఇదిగానే వచ్చిందంటే మనకి మన కమ్యూనిటీకి కూడా ఎంతో నష్టము. ఈరోజు 8,000 మంది ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతున్నారు, రేపు వచ్చే సంవత్సరం 16,000 మంది ఎఫెక్ట్ అవ్వచ్చు. ఈ విధంగా అది మల్టిప్లై అవుతా పోతుంటుంది. అందుకని చెప్పి ఒకప్పుడు ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఒబామా గారు ఇచ్చిన ఈ డ్రీమర్స్కి ఈరోజు ట్రంప్ క్యాన్సిల్ చేస్తుంటే ఈరోజు ఇక్కడ జరిగిన అధ్యక్షత అంతా కూడా రిపబ్లికన్ పార్టీ వాళ్ళు వచ్చారండి. సో దే ఆర్ సపోర్టింగ్ డెమోక్రటిక్ పార్టీస్ డెసిషన్ బికాస్ that is what made America great. So we need to help that, we need to support, and we must stop that dreamers action on President Trump. So please help all of us. Thank you.
We are very much indebted to the Congresswoman for bringing this to fruition. We want to make sure that our community, the Indian community dreamers, we also have dreamers. We have 5,000 dreamers in the whole country and 17,000 eligible to be dreamers. These are individuals of our country who have been not born but may brought up here, went into the educational system and now are going to be productive citizens of America. They have a right to be here as legitimate citizens of America. And we will do everything in our power to make this happen. So thank you very much.
Thank you.